ladies and gentlemen on YouTube. It's the Natural Born Driller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from March 9th, 2021. This edition of Impact Wrestling will be the Impact Sacrifice 2021 Gom Show edition, pertains to this, well, for the Saturday night, for this weekend on Impact Plus around, from my Eastern time, 8 p.m. And there's a lot to talk about on this show here, folks. And as far as the preview, I'll do the preview later on. But I've been busy with something. But other than that, um, I'm here to to do this review as quickly as I possibly can. And yeah, and also I couldn't find a time to find a good you know archive for the logo here. So just what to do. The Impact World Championship that Rich Swann is holding in his hand during the show. We'll get to that when we get to it. But let's not waste any time, folks. They were in Nashville, Tennessee. Your commentators Matt Striker and D'Lo Brown. All right, folks. Before we get to that, I did watch the uh before the Impact shows pertains to James Storm versus Jewel. James Storm did win the match. As far as the show overall, um, it's fine. It's on pre-show before we get to the actual show for every Tuesdays. But after my first experience about that whole thing, yeah, I'm not interested in watching it ever again. So that I mean, it's not a bad idea to do that show, but the problem is you got Josh Matthews still there. So and Josh Matthews still acting like a freaking idiot. So I feel bad for GM Miller and the other guy, the one who looked at Bobby Lashley, but instead he looked like he's an anchor man. Anyways, but nevertheless, let's get to the show though. And the opening match was one half of the Knockout Tag Team Champions, one half of Fire and Flavor. She's the Flavor. She is the Boricua Badass. Tasha Steelz, being accompanied by Kiera Hogan, who is the hottest flame. And the girl on fire. Tasha Steelz goes up against Jazz, who's being accompanied by Jordan Grace. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, why is Jordan Grace not wrestling against Tasha Steelz? Shouldn't it be Jordan Grace versus Tasha Steelz after what happened last week? See, this is what I'm talking about with this whole thing, but it's whatever. But despite that, match itself was decent between Tasha Steelz and Jazz. I enjoyed the match for what it was. In the end, it was Jazz getting the win, and she basically won with the submission with the STF. After the match, Gia Miller catches up. Basically, we go backstage and we see Gia Miller interviewing ODB, where she's sort of challenging the champion John Brasso for sacrifice, where she's basically letting everyone know that she wants to be the 5-time knocked up champion. Her words, not mine. That's the ODB's thing, by the way. Knocked up. And then Cameron, I'm sorry, not Cameron, but ODB does say that though. But Susan shows up, and basically she challenges ODB to a match and everything. And basically Susan said to her, there'll be an outside influences, no John Brasso and no Kimberly trust in Susan, whatever. And that was it. And we'll get to that match later. So and I'm listening to that, and I'm like, yay, we get to see a Susan match. Great. If you could see my face, how miserable I look right now. Can we get Susie back, or at least Su Young back, please? This Susan character's not working out for me. I don't know who likes this thing. I don't get how anyone will want to like this thing. This watered down dollar store Cameron that Susan is trying to portray as. One of Trey Mcgill's students shows up to the show, and Trey McGill basically told him, I'll bring up his name later. I can't really forgot his name. Basically, he's done, don't send Sammy Callahan and everything. He's a liar and everything and all that. And then he says to him, the one who's training by Trey McGill told Trey McGill that that's Sammy Callahan said that you would say something like that, And basically, yeah, he's basically let him know that he wants to challenge him to a match, and Trey Mcgill did not want to. And then he decided to push a little personal in the way. And Trey Mcgill is like, okay, I'll fight you and everything, and we'll get to that later. So more tension's been up there with Sami Callihan and Trey Mcgill, so we'll see how that turns out. And we'll get to that later though. So, and I'll give you more my thoughts about that. Ray Rajul and Mamoni Cena versus James Storm and Chris Sabin in a tag match that I thought it was kind of decent with James Storm and Chris Sabin winning. So yeah, not much to say about that. So yeah, so much for that unit between Rajul and Shira, and we'll get to a little more about them later on. So then we get Triple XL and Reno Scum talking about how they came out short. They're blaming whose fault it was. And all of a sudden, the K shows up and everything. And all of a sudden, Triple XL decided to walk away, and Reno Scum still stuck around. And basically, the K saying they're looking for a sacrifice, and this basically led to a short build up, basically, leading up, for a program for Reno Scum versus DK, which is going to be Black Taurus and Crazy Steve. So that's basically what led to it, and that was the card that's been added. It's for sacrifice. So there you go. Do I care about the match? Not really, but it's something for the kid to do. And Reno Scum. So James Storm and Chris Sabin, they bump into Eric Young. Well, not just Eric Young, but also Joe Doring and also Diener, which is to the Violent by Design. And they see what they're doing with Diener and everything, and they try to help him out and everything. Like you don't be trained, don't be trained like that and everything. Also, Diener attacks James Storm, and basically we get a beat down onto James Storm and Chris Sabin by Violent by Design, and then they left him there, and that was it. So yeah, not much to say about that. But we'll get to more about James Storm and Chris Sabin later because it has something to do with potential sacrifice. Brian Myers threatened to get his lawyer pertains to unsafe working environment, pertains to Scott Demoy on putting in the match against Eddie Edwards and all that. So, Brian Myers will drop a lawsuit if he if Scott Demoy decides to terminate Eddie Edwards, and I'll say myself, yes, fire him. But then Scott Demoy said, he's not gonna do that. He said he's gonna hold harmless. He said something about a harmless match. A hold harmless match, to say, which it means there's gonna be no qualifications, no countouts, anything goes. Basically, Brian Myers thought it was gonna be like a submission match, and nope, that ends up being a hardcore match instead, where it tends to using weapons and all that. And I said to myself, oh great, more of this whole bullshit for it was to be a hardcore wrestler. I hate this. I fucking hate this. Can we just kill this whole thing with Eddie Edwards already? I don't like it. And I don't want to like it. It's run its course. Trey Mcgill versus Sam Beale. Yes, I remember his name. Sami Callihan. I don't remember if he was already out there. Actually, no, he wasn't. He wasn't out there yet. Trey Mcgill versus Sam Beale. So Sam Beale, he looked good. Know that I thought he has a good physique, and I thought he looked good for a little bit until Trey Mcgill beats him quickly. Basically, it was a squash. So basically, we didn't get to see much about what Sam Beale can do. And all of a sudden, Sami Callihan comes out, and Trey Mcgill tries to go after him on stage, but then Sami Callihan presses his phone and basically hack into the system. Lights out, lights come back on. Sami Callihan ends up being in the ring, and then he takes out Sam Beale with a power driver, the package power driver. Trey Mcgill goes in there. Unfortunately, he was played to save him, and Sami Callihan pressed the phone again to for the lights out and all that. You hack into the system because he's the ICU hacker. He's also he was gone. Trey Mcgill, sees that Sam Beale is too laid out and all that. And then Trey Mcgill decides to leave him because he was scared that Sam Callihan would come out of nowhere and everything. And I think, so wait a minute, you just go leave your trainee there. You go, I mean, obviously Sam Callihan left him there for dead, but it's even worse when a trainer like Trey Mcgill is leaving his trainee for dead in the ring. I don't understand that at all. That was kind of weird. Also get to James Doring and Chris Sabin. They issued a challenge against Joe Doring and Diener into a match at Sacrifice, and then Jake something offers to join along with them in case Eric Young gets involved because Eric Young he always interferes, so it makes sense. So that's exactly what happened. So that's that match been added, and it's gonna build more heat, more fire, more build up to see where this leads to. By design with a new program, with James Storm and Chris Sabin, obviously with a familiar program, with Jake something. So Tony Schiavone and Tony Khan, they do their AW recap of Dynamite. I mean not Dynamite, Revolution, and then they started to the plugin for AW Dynamite, and they didn't on Impact Wrestling, which I thought that was going to lead to what happened on Dynamite, which I'll get to that review when I get to it, because I got a lot to say about that, folks, because I am pissed off, but we'll get to that eventually. So, but yeah, just no advertisement and all that. And by the way, Tony, not Tony Schiavone, Tony Khan, will somebody please stop? Please, let me calm down, because I'm getting triggered with this too. By the way, will someone please tell Tony Khan to take off those sunglasses? The sunglasses, with that shape with a heart that look like it's melting. Because someone please tell him to take those shades off, because he does not look good with those shades on. I don't know what he's trying to portray as with all those shades on, but take off those shades, man. You could keep the jacket on. Wear different shades, but don't wear those type of shades, man. Like I don't know what he's trying to do. Like what is he like a heartthrob or something like that? So it's so stupid. He looks stupid with those sunglasses on. I can understand and he's also wearing those sunglasses, but Tony Khan, I don't understand what he's trying to do there. It's weird, and I don't like it, and I don't want to like it. And if you don't like it, beat it, and you know the rest. But anyways, the Good Bros and Finn Juice, they signed the contract. Scott Demoy didn't want to wait that long because they were he had business to take care of, so they were taking shots. They took a dirt shot, except for the dirt shot by Finn Juice. They poured it up to the top while the Good Bros drank their shot, and also Good Bros got drinks on their face and all that. But they at least it's on the contract though, and also they start fighting. So basically, we got a little preview of what we're going to see at Sacrifice. So there you go. And yeah, I'm excited for this. Hopefully, this means Finn Juice get the belts off of Good Bros. I doubt that, but I want those belts off of Good Bros, because the Good Bros to me is losing their steam right now, and I'm really getting pissed off that the Good Bros are not being the Good Bros that they should be. They should be right now, like they were in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Instead, they still got that stigma, the whole stench of their WWE characters, and it's pissing me the fuck off. So get those belts off of them and get them off my fucking TV, because as of right now, they're my Broadway TV heat. Get off my TV heat, basically. It's gone to that level, folks, and it's pissing me off, because I don't want to hate the Good Brothers. I like the Good Brothers. They are the best tag teams, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, what they done over there proves otherwise. Why they are the best tag team. This shit is not good at all. It's just, but whatever. Ace Austin with Madman Fulton, versus Chris Bay. This match was pretty good. Basically, it pertains to Ace Austin can prove Chris Bay wrong. Days later, days before, I meant to say, when he challenges TJP for the title at Sacrifice, the X Men title. So the match itself was doing pretty good. So as promised, Madman Fulton didn't get involved that much, but then he started getting involved by distracting Chris Bay, which led to Ace Austin taking advantage of it. And all of a sudden, TJP comes out on stage, sets a chair up, sits on stage. Madman Fulton sees this, and Ace Austin, like an idiot, took his eye off the ball. Madman Fulton goes right after TJP. TJP just walks away. So Madman Fulton was too slow to get him. I don't know how was that possible, but anyway, but it was possible. But But then also, Chris Bay hits the Art of Finesse and gets the win over Chris Bay. I mean, Chris Bay, I meant to say, excuse me. Yeah, Chris Bay got a win over himself because he also dropped himself out too. Just kidding. But Chris Bay beats Ace Austin, and Man Fulton comes out, and that was it. Yeah, basically, Man Fulton comes out, because he realized, oh no, Ace Austin lost. So there you go. So then we go back to the Swingers Palace. Well, we start going to the Swingers Palace, and then we're back in the first place. We're chance to everything happen on the show here. So TJP said, I see, I told you that was gonna happen, and then Johnny Bravo, TJP was right. He placed the bet and he got more money again, and then Josh Alexander shows up, and then basically tells him that his sights are firmly set on the X title, and I was just getting it. Now the way this was done, I think Josh Alexander was 2 days they're doing with him. He's he's pissed off that TJP is not taking this seriously, and he's playing games and all that. With him being a baby face. Now talking about Josh Alexander, or this could lead to Josh Alexander turning heel because he's sick of TJP being cocky and arrogant. Unless it's the other way around, where TJP's gonna turn heel eventually. I don't know. But hopefully this doesn't lead to Josh Alexander turning heel because you just turned babyface after you got him away from Josh got him away from Ethan Page, which Ethan Page is on AEW now. But we'll see what they do with this. It's confusing to me, but we'll see what they do with this. So Rui Rajuka criticized Shira for his lack of performance, and Shira grabs him and places him on the wall and says to him that basically says I don't owe you a damn thing, whatever, something like that. And that was it. So I guess that term is over now. ODB versus Susan, and I didn't care about the match at all, folks. I really didn't. ODB wins. And she should, because Susan should not be winning matches anyways. And on top of that, this was the main event match. Of all matches that are the main event for the show, this was the match. That was the main event. A match that I didn't care for. So basically, it made me not care about the main event match. What made me care for is the final segment of the show. But we'll get to that. But after the match, the Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly comes out to blindside ODB. Jordan Grace and Andreas comes out until the Knockouts tag team champions Fire and Favor came out and started beating up on them. And basically, Deonna Purrazzo, Kimberly, and Fire and Favor, Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz, by the way, they all beat up on them, getting the upper hand and momentum, leading them for a sacrifice at on Impact Plus, and that was it. So yeah, nice build up there. And finally, the final sequence to end the show. Basically, they've been teasing all night that Scott D'Amore was going to have a major announcement, make returns to the Impact World Champion, Rich Swann versus Moose for the and who's a TNA World Champion too. And basically, it was going to be about the Impact World Championship. So Scott D'Amore was talking to someone, and we couldn't see who he was talking to. All of a sudden, we hear Moose music, and he's calling out Scott D'Amore, and he's attempting on the hold the show hostage. Even though I don't know how that's even possible because that's the final sequence for the show. So it didn't make any sense that he said that. But Scott D'Amore goes out there, and Scott D'Amore let him know before we get to that announcement which one needs to come out too, because it has something to do with him too as well. Because obviously it does because he's the Impact World Champion. But so Rich Swann comes out, and they Moose and Rich Swann from across each other while Scott D'Amore is in the middle. He makes the announcement that not only the Impact World titles can be on the line, but the TNA World titles can be on the line too, with a unification championship match going on between Rich Swann and Moose at Sacrifice. And I said to myself, "Oh my God, this is too soon." That's what I said to myself. When I heard about this, like, wait a minute, this is too soon. Like, what I mean, I'm thrilled that it's happening, but I don't understand why this is happening so fast. I thought this was going to build up for like a rebellion or something like that, but this has something to do with rebellion too. So we're going to Sacrifice, Moose versus Rich Swann. Whoever wins that match, and the winner take all will go to Rebellion in the main event to face the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega. Wow. And it's not just for the for the unification for the Impact and the TNA World Title, but it's gonna be for the AEW title too. Basically, it's gonna be titles for titles. Wow. And then after that was an announcement made, Scott one leaves the ring, and then Moose and Rich Swann stare pole at each other and holding the belts up in there and all. And then we go backstage and we see Don Callis talking to King Mega on the phone and says, everything is according to plan. Just like we planned. And then that's how the show went up the year. So that's basically it, folks. That was it for the show, and that was it for this Impact Wrestling review. And that will include this results of it. Total Wrestling with 5 matches, and my overall show for the show for Impact Wrestling, the show from March 9th, 2021, pertains to this Impact Sacrifice 2021 Golem Show Edition. I'm gonna give it the show itself. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. I thought it did a decent, good job where it pertains to building up the pay per view, and that's another thing too. People are calling it the pay per view, where it pertains to Impact Sacrifice for on Impact Plus. It's not really a pay per view. It's just a special Impact Plus event that they do. But since people want to call it a pay per view, after this major announcement has been made, where it pertains to Rich Swann versus Moose for the Unification Championship title match to happen, I'm like, hell, you know what? By all means, if we're gonna be calling this a pay per view for events like this, like Sacrifice, and hopefully we get locked down later on, and no surrender and other type of pay per views where it pertains to pay per view names where it pertains to be on Impact Plus. That used to be a pay per view, but now it's just a regular show. Where it pertains to Impact Plus. But if people want to call it a pay per view, hey, by all means, they might as well just be a pay per view as well. So there you go. But yeah, folks, that's all I gotta say for there. And I will do the preview later on. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching. No plugs, just wants to all you to stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself everywhere that's going in the world, wear your mask before you wear your gloves. Make sure the hand sanitize your hands or wash your hands with liquid soap to prevent germs and prevent anything or just you going outside during these pandemics. And that's be all respectful and better to everyone of your surroundings. So you gotta love one another, you gotta bless one another, and live in peace and harmony for us all. For I am out here, top for now, for It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. You all take care.